I don't care how exhausted I am or how dark it is out there, I need to go and see this thing with my own eyes. If it really is a spaceship, then I need to know who the hell it belongs to and where it came from. Damn, it's pitch black out here now that the sun's completely set. I need to be careful. If I fall and injure myself, or if this suit gets pierced, then I could be in some serious trouble. Apparently it has sections that automatically seal when a breach is detected, but I wouldn't want to put it to the test. Well, on initial inspection, this certainly does look like the hull of a spaceship. I'll have a quick look around the outside just to confirm that first. I also want to make sure that no native wildlife has decided to make this thing its home in the meantime. I wouldn't want my adventure suddenly and tragically cut short just because I accidentally stumbled upon the den of the Saburo equivalent of a grizzly bear or something. Benson, when we seized the Argentavis, we had a chance to update our records. Does the crashed ship in front of us match anything in our current database?
Negative, Commander. I've tried to find a match based on what remains of the wreckage, but there are no known matches.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm noticing some strong similarities between the Black Pyramid and parts of this ship, not only in how it looks, but also the colour as well. Benson, do you have any idea how long this shipwreck has been here?
Based on initial observations and the state of the wreck itself, I estimate that this vessel has been here for approximately 75 to 150 years.
Really? Now that is interesting. If I have time, I'll try to take back part of the ship so that you can run a carbon dating test on it.
Thank you, Commander. That would be most helpful in achieving a more accurate result.
No problem, Ben. Either way, if your initial estimates are indeed correct, then this ship predates even mankind's first attempts at reaching the stars, which leads me to the conclusion that this ship is definitely not one of ours. From the looks of things, this ship obviously came down at quite a shallow angle, hit the ground, created this trench that ran all the way to where it eventually stopped here. Another thing that is quite weird though is that in stark contrast to the rest of the ship, that engine up there looks like a chemical rocket. It might just be the shape of it though. I'll confirm that later on once I get a closer look at it. It looks like there was initially two of them, but one's obviously been lost in the crash. The one to the right, however, though, looks as if it's still in relatively good condition. It is strange how most of the outer shell is intact, yet most of the internals are missing. Some of them would have been destroyed in the crash, but all of them? I don't know, that just seems a little unlikely. Seeing that, I did see something earlier that looked relatively intact. In fact, there it is, just over there. It looks like it's half buried into the ground and overgrown with vegetation. I'll try and see if I can dig it out a little. That should do it. Ben, would I be right in saying that that looks like some kind of large capacitor?
Commander, based on the external appearance of the component, I would have to say that there is a high probability that you are correct.
Yeah, I recognised the shape, but I've never seen a capacitor quite as large as that before. I wonder what it was attached to. I've got a feeling there's another level above this one. I'll try to see if I can find a way up to it. I need to watch out. There's lots of twisted, jagged pieces of metal sticking all over this place. I almost lost my footing back there. I'm seeing a lot of damage in the outer hull that's not really consistent with a crash landing. If I was a betting man, I'd say this almost looked like battle damage. Of course, I could be completely wrong and it might just be meteor strikes or something. Either way, it does strike me as a little odd that there's so much damage on the top side of the vessel. Ah, hang on, it looks like I found something. Well now, this is interesting. It looks like I found some kind of table or something that looks relatively intact. Ben, what do you make of this thing?
Unknown Commander, the device in front of you appears to resemble a table. However, those housings along the edge appear to contain thousands of tiny laser emitters.
Really? Lasers, huh? Maybe it's some kind of onboard scanning device or a display screen of some kind that we've not encountered before. Either way, we won't know until we actually take it apart and find out. But that's something that'll have to wait until morning, once the sun comes up and I can actually see what I'm doing. Plus, I'm absolutely exhausted. I've been awake since we left the crash site of the Prestinium, and I don't want to even hazard a guess at how many hours ago that was. To be honest with you, Ben, I need to be at my best if we're going to investigate this crash site and examine the devices that are on board.
I agree, Commander. That would be the wisest course of action.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. I keep getting distracted by that green stuff on the ground and the spores it kicks up. There's just something alien about it, which I suppose is completely natural considering this is an alien world. Well, as alien as it may be, this planet sure does have a strange otherworldly beauty to it. Anyway, before I retire for the evening, I'll do some final checks, make some changes to the light system to make it a little brighter, and I'll get Benson to wake me up once the sun starts to rise, just to make sure that I've got an early start when it comes to investigating that crash site.
Good morning, Commander. I hope you slept well.
Good morning, Ben. I suppose I did, although I could do with another 3 or 4 more hours sleep, but hey, I can't complain. Well, would you look at that? This place doesn't look half bad now that the sun's coming up. It's still a little bit dark out there, but at least I'll be able to see what I'm doing now. And as the sun comes up, it'll only get brighter. Ah, now that's a lot better. Those changes to the lights I did last night make a huge difference. It's funny, you don't really appreciate how mountainous the terrain around this valley is until you see it in the daytime. It's actually a wonder I managed to get the mobile base here in one piece. Ah, now here's this weird green spongy stuff that kicks up spores every time I walk across it. I mean, look at that. It looks like it's made of cells or jello or something. I might take a sample of it later on and get Ben to study it. Right now, however, my main focus is on that crashed ship. While some of the damage may have been caused by re-entry, a lot of that still looks like battle damage to me. Who knows, maybe this ship is a long-lost relic from some forgotten war that was fought many years ago. The other, less romantic possibility is that it was struck by meteoroids, lost power to its engines, and just fell out of orbit. I'm not seeing any weapons on the outside of the ship, but those may have just been destroyed beforehand. From this angle, it almost looks like it has a twin hull design. Not the most aerodynamic of shapes, but maybe like our ships, it wasn't ever meant to enter a planet's atmosphere. The strange thing is, it almost looks like a lot of these internals were removed post-crash, which strongly suggests that either someone or something survived the crash in order to do that. Anyway, enough speculation. I'll grind down one of these blocks here and get Ben to study the components. Now this one looks like a good choice.
Grinder damaged.
What the heck? Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Caution, Commander. The outer layer of the armor you are trying to grind appears to be coated in a material that your grinder cannot cut through.
So it would appear. Well, this sucks. I was really looking forward to finding out what this ship was made out of. Well, whatever it is, it's pretty damn tough, that's for sure. Well, the good news is the grinder blade, or what's left of it, is coated in a powder-like material from when I tried to cut through that armour block. I can always take that back and study it to see what we can learn. Besides, I need to head back soon to get a new grinder. This one is pretty much screwed right now. When I come back, I'll ignore the armour blocks and just concentrate on some of the internals like that thing down there. Something tells me I'll be able to grind those down. It might just be the outer shell of this ship is just too damn tough. Same goes for this engine over here. I'm hoping I can grind through that thing okay. I still say this thing looks like the nozzle on the end of a chemical rocket engine. Who knows, maybe it is. Right Ben, enough messing around. I'm heading back now to pick up a new grinder and I'll let you analyse the residue on the end of this blade.
Acknowledged.
In fact, whilst I'm waiting for him to build me another grinder, I think I'm going to wander around for a bit and see what else I can find around here. I'll keep track of all the ore veins I come across, because those will be useful to me later on. In retrospect, I should have taken an extra oxygen tank with me. I'd better not stray too far. Ah, hang on a second. Is that water I see over there? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. If it is, that's going to solve so many problems I've got right now. And it also opens the opportunity for me to try and grow something edible on this planet. Because at the moment, my ration situation is a little bit worrying, and that's putting it lightly. Compared to the icy wastelands we've just come from, this place is positively teeming with life. Luckily, I've only encountered small insects and rodent-like creatures so far, and none of them seem to be particularly hostile, so that's a good sign. There also appears to be some kind of avian, bird-like creatures flying around as well. None of them have got close enough for me to actually study them in any great detail, but once they do, I'll try to report my findings. Suffice to say, I've been focusing more on survival rather than alien birdwatching. Well now this is odd. There is a gentle breeze, but the surface of that lake looks worryingly still. Okay, time to get my feet wet. What on earth? This feels solid. How is that even possible? Well, I guess it's obviously not water then. Is it ice? Surely it can't be, the temperature's too warm for that now. Benson, do you have any idea what the hell this is I'm actually standing on right now?
Commander, based on initial observations, the substance you are standing on appears to be a hydrated, amorphous form of silica.
Like pink opal or something. So this is essentially stone then. Well, that's just wonderful. I really was hoping it was going to be water. Oh well, I might as well take these samples back with me to study later on anyway. Yep, they're showing up as stone on the HUD as well. Well, that was a little disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. I suppose it really just reinforces how strange and alien this place is when you have an entire lake that's filled with nothing but a smooth pink stone. So, what do you have for me, Ben?
Commander, I have completed my analyses of the substance found on the blade of your grinder. It appears to contain both steel from the damaged grinder, plus traces of carbon nanotubes, which could have only come from the armor plating you're attempting to grind.
Carbon nanotubes, huh? Well, that explains it. Might as well have been trying to cut through diamond. Well, I guess that settles it then. I won't bother trying to cut through the outer hull of that ship. I'll just focus on those internal components instead now. I'm still in awe every time I see this amazing scenery here. A place like this back on Earth would make an excellent holiday destination. In fact, I might just choose this location to build my base. Anyway, I need to focus. Back at the task in hand. Right, I'll start by taking this one apart first. And now it's time to grind down this table contraption. I wonder what secrets we can learn from this thing. And last, but by no means least, it's time to disassemble the engine. Shit, this is going to take a while. Right, that's pretty much everything that's obvious, grinded down, and Ben's analysing it as I speak. All I've got to do now is give this place a quick once over to make sure I've not missed anything. Nope, there's a couple of purple looking panels over there, but I don't think they'll have anything useful in them. Oh, careful, try not to get stuck on the way down. Oh, hang on a second, it looks like I might have missed something there. Ah, it's just the remains of some rotor components. I'll take them anyway. Okay, I think that's everything. Time to head back to the mobile base. What the flaming hell was that? Benson, I think there's something else out here with me. Are you picking up anything?
Negative, Commander. Whatever made that noise has not come into view on any of the external cameras.
Ah, shit. Okay, copy that, Ben. Alright, you son of a bitch, where did you go? Well, whatever it isn't over there. Might be on the roof. I'll check outside. Whatever it was, I didn't see where the hell it went. Ah, if I'm lucky, maybe it's just some kind of weird space monkey that got curious or something. Either way, I'm finished here. I'm heading back to the mobile base and the relative safety of those defense turrets. Well, the turrets seem to be interested in something over that way, that's for sure. I still can't see anything myself, though. Right, screw it. Let's get out of here. Whatever that was, it's probably long gone. It's time to get this mobile base moving again and find somewhere a bit more secure to settle down. Handbrake off. And away we go. Benson, did you learn anything useful from those components we salvaged from that shipwreck back there?
Negative, Commander. I am still in the process of analyzing them. Initial results, however, show that there is a very high probability that the table-shaped device is some type of holographic projector. And the thruster it is assembled is indeed a liquid-fueled chemical rocket, the specific details of which are still unknown at this time and will require further analysis.
That is very interesting. Thanks for the update, Ben. Keep me posted as soon as you learn anything new.
As you wish, Commander.
Now I've just got to find somewhere relatively flat and decide if it's going to be suitable enough for us to build our base. There was one spot I did quite like earlier as I was making my way towards that stone lake. I'll try to see if I can find it again. Okay, I've got a feeling this could be the place. I'll just take a look around and make sure. Oh yeah, check out that view. Not only do we have the defence of those mountains on three sides, but you can see for miles. Yep, I've reached a decision. This is where I shall build our base. And those dark patches over there can only mean one thing. We've got ore nearby too. Excellent. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this location. And even better, it looks like it's still the middle of the day, so I've got plenty of time to make a start on this base and hopefully get the first building blocks and foundations put in place. At least before it starts to get dark again. Now the big question on my mind right now is whether to put the entrance facing towards the lake or towards the valley where it levels out. It makes it easier for driving vehicles, I suppose, but I mean, look at that view of the lake though. Oh, decisions, decisions. Right, I think this ground here looks relatively flat, so I'll just double check to make sure, and once I'm happy I'll build the first block of our base here. I don't want to build it somewhere too uneven because I'll have to rely on the mobile base for the next couple of days, and even with a handbrake on, that thing's got a horrible tendency of rolling away if you're not careful. Yeah, this looks fine. Are you ready, Ben? A historic moment here, the first block of our new base.
Very good, Commander. I am sure this location will be most suitable.
Well, at least try to sound enthusiastic, Ben.
Danger. Danger,
Whoa.
Commander Robertson. Hostile life forms detected.
Oh shit. What the hell is that thing?